Hello and welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia. Last time we finished up Amane's branch and I am very sorry that I got carried so much away that I did, as it was probably very much audible through the recording. I was sobbing pretty badly. I suppose I wasn't prepared for it. It had been at least a year since I played it through. And while I would say that Amane and Yuuji's end was a happy one, even happy ends can hurt you emotionally. Anyway, all the way back then, when we started Amane's branch, the choice was to, with Amane in front of Yuuji, decide whether we should surprise her and kiss her, or actually run away from this nonsense. Now, to get to Amane's route, we were to kiss her. To run away, we obviously have to say, this is idiotic, can't let myself get caught up in her nonsense. This is completely idiotic. If I get caught up in Amane's nonsense and let her coax me into kissing her, it's all too obvious that the reparations she'll exact in the aftermath will leave me staggering debt. As Amane waits patiently, her eyes closed and lips puckered like an actress in a lipstick commercial, I reached out and gave her a full force flick to the forehead. Owie! Moron, did you really think I, of all people, would fall for such a blatant trap? Don't give me that, you totally hesitated there for a second. Okay, so you kidding? Is this girl for real was part of it? But could it really hurt? Maybe I'll just kiss her, it was totally running through your head too. You're the one who said you'd be satisfied playing my big sister, you know. Sisters don't pester their little brothers for a kiss on the mouth. What? Are you saying no big sister in the world has ever done the same? You sure about that? Well, yeah, I guess there are probably a few out there, but that's a seriously rare case. Hey Yuuji, want to kiss your sis? Of course you do, right? Hurry up and do it already. Don't start playing some incoherent character from an incest-themed porno. You're just trying to push this through by force. Talk about lame. Yuuji, you're such a coward. In my line of work, what you're scared is a phrase you don't want to hear under any circumstances. No matter what unreasonable, reckless action you are being encouraged to take, that the instant that question gets voiced, you have to spit it out. Hell no, and instantly leap into action. If you back down in the face of a taunt like that, your reputation among the group will plummet irretrievably. But we can't forget about the wonderful concept of tactical withdrawal. A dignified retreat when the situation calls for it is no act of cowardice. This is just such a case. Anyway, it's late. Head back to your own room already. Huh? What the heck? Kicking me out as soon as things get a little troublesome for you? I swear, men are so... I'm grateful to you for the meal and sewing and all, and everything else. To the extent that I can't really express it in words. But this isn't the same as a romantic relationship. You're an adult woman. I think you can grasp the distinction yourself, right? Rushed things a little bit, huh? I got a little careless. Should have filled more moat in the... Should have filled in the moat a little more firmly before I rushed the castle. What? Well, okay, I guess I'll call it a night. Put the plates in the sink when you're done, okay? I'll wash them with the others tomorrow. I can take care of that of my own dishes. What? Are you trying to steal my job now? I didn't stick my nose into your work, so you don't get to stick your nose into mine. Got it? What a tyrant. Jeez, women as convenient as me don't grow on trees, you know. I won't tell you to be grateful, but try not to treat me too rough, okay? Yeah, got it. Very well, an acceptable response. See you later, Yuuji. Good night. Yeah, night. Well, that went rather smoothly. The girl seems to feel some pathological need to force her way into my life. But the way Amane suddenly shows up and starts doing the housework without being asked, only to get hopping mad over something, preach at me for a while, then vanishes as quickly as she came, it inspires a definite sense of déjà vu. Specifically, her fierce pushiness and burning desire to take care of others reminds me strongly of JB. If I'm comparing her to JB, who has been something like family since I was a kid, I clearly don't dislike Amane. Honestly, I enjoy her company. But it's also undeniable that I have a hard time seeing her as a love interest. How can I put this? Well, like I said, she feels more like family. Something like my older sister was to me when she was still alive. Something like my master. Something like JB. Amane has become someone I care about in that way. And that's exactly why I can't thoughtlessly take advantage of her. I don't want to end up making her cry. Those are my honest feelings right now. As I return to the first floor after my bath, I spot Sachi walking toward the front door. She's in full maid uniform, but her hands are empty. Somehow this feels vaguely unsatisfactory. Probably proof that I've gotten accustomed to the way things work around here. Yo, Sachi.
Good evening, Kasami-san.
Sorry, my bad.
Is something wrong?
Well, this one is one thing I'm not sure I'll ever get used to. Sachi's ability to do absolutely bizarre things while keeping that "this is perfectly normal, why do you ask" expression on her face is really something else. So, just curious, but is talking like a dyslexic with a Russian accent some sort of fad these days? Or maybe is it some sort of code?
Neither, I believe.
Which would leave...
Allow me to explain!
Just as a new theory begins to take shape in my mind, Makina pops up from between Sachi's legs. Okay, where did you come from?
Hey, the punk's groin was just too defenseless. Dived in for the kill on pure instinct, you know?
Since when were you a bloodthirsty boxer? As I look on in silent bemusement, Makina pulls Sachi's skirt back and forth, noisily rustling the fabric. Sachi's calm toleration of this action reflects her trust in Makina, or at least I really want to believe it does. Alright, so why is Sachi talking in that bizarre way?
Well, to make a long story short, it's because I asked her to play this Xtreme Typo game I thought up.
Xtreme Typo?
Yep, you change a bunch of letters to a different one nearby it on the keyboard and talk like a sausage trinket grandma types. L goes to P, F becomes D. It's popular adult pastime these days, you know? Fwah!
Makina mimes pulling a cigarette from her lips and loudly blows out the imaginary fumes. Apparently she equates adult with smoking. I managed to resist commenting on the matter, allowing Makina's deranged explanation to roll merrily onward.
What's more, the moment there's a special super typo rule in effect for mature audiences only. G becomes K and C becomes T. How about joining in for a nice three-way, Oni-chan?
At least say 3-player match or something.
Ooh?
Well, knowing this girl, the innuendo was probably more reflexive than anything else. Also, if you're looking to recruit another player, why don't you just invite Amane?
Amane is occupied with a very important mission right now, namely rustling up the grab.
Come to think of it, I guess it's about that time of the day. And that's why you dragged Sachi into this instead.
Yeah, Sachi's got a heart sparkling clean as freshly laundered money, so she cheerfully agreed to my request, as always.
Tell me, Sachi, what do you think of the games Makina comes up with?
Makina can be described negativity as strength, positivity very original. I believe I burn a pot by participating. A pot pie by participating in them. Not exactly the ringing endorsements I was hoping for, but yeah, are you willing to play with us, Oni-chan?
Much to my regret, I am unable to play Xtreme Typo for religious reasons.
You're lying!
Why do you say that?
Well, Sergeant's gonna explain that right now.
Makina gives Sachi's back a vigorous thump, prompting her to take a step forward.
Kasami-san, as you were speaking those words, you broke eye contact. Contact. Oh god. A prototypical mannerism of a person tipping a pie.
The best thing is that if you have the voice acting on, which I don't have for the recording purposes, it really does sound this awkward. There are plenty of things that are really, really great that you should really experience with the voices on. The scene where Michiru walks around beating her hair sounding like an alien is definitely one of the top moments as well. It seems this combination is more dangerous than one might expect. Okay then, give me a demonstration first.
Aye, sir!
As soon as these energetic words leaves Makina's mouth, the two of them turn to face each other, assuming a conversational posture.
Yo, Satin, sup? Yo. By the way, Satin, what do you have for dinner past night? Seafood pasta and the TSR sepat. I remember thoroughly. Say what? Who the heck you think you are? A trendy artist patty working in Tokyo's Dinanship district? You disgust me. Well then, what did you do past Night, Makitan? I spent my next watching a special on the National Qa'Rajh Pig Tanip about the Kakapokos Islands. Makitan, you do serpentantly do prove your television. Okay, you got the general idea.
I see. Keeping the track of all these rules seems like it would be surprisingly difficult.
Well, when you play for keeps, you want to push the conversation around. Make your opponent say real tricky words till they bite their tongue.
And depending on how skillful you are at rephrasing things, you might be able to come up with sentences that don't use many of the letters at all.
Yes, that strategy invoked is surprisingly profound.
And there's also some sentences like that one where nearly every word has to be altered.
But man, Parkers sure sound like tacos, don't you think?
Where's this coming from all of a sudden?
I was thinking the same thing yesterday when I was watching that show about the islands, but just remembering it is getting me jonesy for some Mexican.
In that case, why don't you ask Amane if she add tacos to tonight's menu?
Good thinking as usual, Onchen. There's no time to waste.
Within seconds, Makina's slippers are squeaking furiously up the stairs to the second floor, all else forgotten in pursuit of her prize. Little puddles of drool mark the path she followed. What can I say? The girl really does resemble a hyperactive 10-year-old at times. When I turned back, Sachi hasn't budged an inch. In fact, she's staring at me intently. Sachi, don't you need to start dinner yourself?
Oh god, there's no rush. My preliminary preparations are complete, and I ate paid punch this afternoon. What's more, she's still observing the rules of the game. And now that I look closely, I kinda get the feeling there's something like expectation burning in her eyes.
Alright then, want to try this Xtreme Typos with me?
I knew you'd give it a go, Kazami-ken.
Seems my gut feeling was correct on this one. Sachi responds eagerly. Since I'm a student now, wasting a little time on this sort of pointless nonsense seems vaguely inappropriate, but I don't want a reputation as a sort of goofy twit who enjoys this sort of game for its own sake. Alright, let's talk details first. Bring it back to normal for now.
Very well.
Her tone betraying a hint of regret, Sachi closes her eyes for a moment, probably consciously deactivating her Xtreme Typo mode. The thing is, the game doesn't really seem to have a set ending. Let's make it into a match. First person to slip up loses.
Are there any additional rules?
Let's see. No climbing up entirely or ignoring your opponent's request. That should be enough.
And since it's a match, I assume there'll be a penalty game for the loser, yes? Just what I wanted to hear.
I hadn't thought about that part, but, well, I guess that'll encourage us to take the match a little more seriously.
Indeed, I estimate a 120% increase in fun levels.
She's seriously fired up about this. Well, if I win, I guess I'll ask you to take care of my laundry or something.
If you are victorious, please refer to me as laundry lackey for the rest of my days.
That's not really what I said. Anyway, what do you want me to do if you win, Sachi?
Would you mind if I kept that to myself until the hypothetical moment of victory?
If Amane or Michiru asked me for this kind of blank check, going along with it would be far too risky. But I'm pretty confident Sachi's not going to demand anything too outrageous. Yeah, that's alright by me.
Thank you very much. In that case, let's begin the match.
And so I began my bizarre verbal duel with Sachi. Good evening.
Good evening.
So, how are things coink with you, Page P.
Exceptionappy.
Good to hear.
Considering the way Sachi kept us this game perfectly right until the moment I asked her to stop, winning this match probably won't be easy.
By the way, can you name the Damus Szechuan steamed poultry dish with the sesame salt?
Bang Bang Thitkin.
Okay then. How about the park-sized anthropoid designated as Dangerous Animap on the Japanese paw?
That would be the chimpanzee.
Name an unventionable thrip ride that uses epistid daughter or rubber to point a pathing upward.
Tata-popped bunkie, perhaps? I thought Tata-pop would be pretty tricky to pronounce, maybe leading to stumble on an easier second word, but she brushes off this combo attack as easily as the rest. On a different note, isn't it a bit nippy today?
Yep, there's a thip in the air.
By the way, Kasami-ten, can you name the popular British deep-dried sea dude and potato combination?
Decent thips?
Somehow its no ponga sounds quite as appetizing.
Can't argue with you on that one.
Well then, can't be named the variety or Darming supposedly expediting the greenhouse edit via repeats or carbon dioxide in pantheatic dyers.
Smash and burn a crypt
Impressive as usual, Kasami-san. You didn't door my trap.
That was a trap. The question sounded 10 times more digit than say the answer.
Next, Sachi draws near and holds out a small slip of paper toward me. You are a worthy doe, Kasami-san. I must utilize my trump card.
Ho. I accept the scrap of paper, then unfold it to find a few lines of neat text scribbled across the interior.
Takuchi-chan, who utilizes slash and burn agriculture, stuffs her cheeks with bang bang chicken and fish and chips while riding the catapult bungee.
The heck is this?
Would you be so kind as to read this sentence out loud? So that's your game, is it? In this match, there's no set rule limiting the means by which you can influence your opponent's response. Sachi cannily spotted this loophole and identified it as the surest path to victory.
Very whip.
I gently shut my eyes and draw the muscles around my solar plexus taut. Carefully perceiving the flow of energy now surging through my body, I direct the current of force into a swirling whirlpool, terminating into a single point at the core of my body. Once, twice, 3 times. And in the next instant I unleash that power like a coiled spring. Takuti-tan, who devises smash and burn agriculture, starts her thieves with bang bang thicktin and distant thips while ridding the catapult bungee. Just now I don't believe beep you said catapult bungee, did you? And so the match ended all too quickly in my ignominious defeat.
I know it's just a game, but losing to you is honestly pretty frustrating.
Well, it'd just be lame to take a match like this seriously, especially since I was playing against a younger female classmate. Maybe I let her win? Or so I attempt to console myself without much success. My trump chart didn't work on Maki-san, but it seems it was addictive against Kasami-san.
Okay, first off, can you go back to normal now?
Wah! I forgot entirely.
Must say though, I wasn't expecting you to be that good, class rep.
Just gave 110%. It was a team effort.
No, it wasn't. Why are you spouting sports cliches all of a sudden?
And for some reason she's acting shy about it. Isn't this the standard way to receive compliments after a victorious match?
Only if you're a professional athlete with muscles where your brain should be.
What? Is that so? I gained yet another valuable piece of knowledge thanks to you, Kasami-san.
Not that I hadn't noticed before, but Sachi's knowledge of the world is decidedly warped in many areas. So, what's my punishment for losing?
In regards to that,
Sachi's words trail off hesitantly halfway through the sentence. What's wrong? Haven't you made up your mind yet?
Well, I have, but...
Ooh, that's a new face. Then spread it out already.
Then, could you praise me for defeating you?
Huh?
Unable to comprehend Sachi's bizarrely simplistic request, I answered with an incredulous grunt. Is it too much to ask?
Before I decide, I'd really like to hear why you chose that of all things.
Well, because I want to be praised by you, Kasami-san.
Yeah, and I'm asking why.
That's, unclear to me as well, to be perfectly honest. When you praise me, Kasami-san, the pit of my stomach gets nice and warm. Sachi's tentative questioning tone suggests her own understanding of the matter is still incomplete. But from our interactions to date, I'm well aware that this girl never tells a lie. Which would mean these are unquestionably her true feelings.
Do you feel the same way when someone else compliments you?
I'm afraid I don't know the answer to that question either. When I first transferred into the school, Amane-san and Michiru-sama did compliment me, but lately such events have grown increasingly rare, so I lack a standard for comparison.
Well, I guess I can understand that. After a while, your actions do tend to inspire concern more than gratitude.
Is that truly the case?
Yep.
The distinction between the two is quite difficult.
With those words, Sachi closes her eyes and sinks into thought. Well, the request itself isn't unreasonable, and it wouldn't be particularly unpleasant for me, but... So here's where you go for Sachi's route. And, where... I would say that the choices to go for the girl's route have been pretty obvious, so far at least. It is also here. Obviously, if you want to go for Sachi, which we will in the next episode, you are to praise Sachi. Alright, fine. I don't have any problem with praising you, if that's what you want.
You really mean it?
Yep. Defeating me in a match is worthy of recognition, and it's only natural to praise someone when they deserve it. I think someone might have told me the exact same thing long ago. What's wrong? Did I say something strange?
No, it's nothing. Thank you very much.
Sachi responds to my question with unusual haste, then bows deeply for a moment as if to collect herself. So, as for the details, what kind of praising are you looking for specifically?
I'll leave that entirely to you, Kasami-san. 100% Kasami style will suit me just fine.
That's quite a vague request. That said, it wouldn't be fair to break my promise after the fact, even in something as inconsequential as this. I draw close to Sachi and reach out my hand toward her head.
Would it be alright if we dimmed the light first?
What?
Well, this slow build up to the main event has left me somewhat tense. If possible, I'd like to have the room dark.
Normally Sachi can strip off her clothes in public without a hint of embarrassment, but at the moment a rare pink blush has spread across her face. Oh, I love her. I love Sachi's face. Just for future reference, that sort of line should only be used when you're getting in bed with someone. I gently shoot down Sachi's feeble entreaty and place my hand on top of her head. Oh! You beat me fair and square. Pretty amazing work, Sachi. This has to be the first time I've touched Sachi's head. And yet, the feeling of her hair under my hand is oddly pleasant. There's even something vaguely nostalgic about the sensation. Very nicely done. Sachi went stiff as a board at first, but soon closes her eyes in apparent pleasure. As her body relaxes underneath my hand, I begin to slowly pet her head. Right, left, right. Every time my hand moves, little bits of gibberish dribble from Sachi's mouth. It's kind of amusing to watch.
My brain is being shaken to goo.
I'm really not doing that forcibly. Sachi sways back and forth helplessly in time with the gentle movements of my hand. This is another first for us, but for some reason the motion comes naturally to me.
Thank you very much. I am fully satisfied.
Right. Snapping out of it at the sound of Sachi's voice, I quickly draw back my hand. I think I ended up going at her head for a relatively long period of time without even realizing it. And for some reason, she's currently staring intently at my hand. So, how was it? Did the pit of your stomach get warm again?
It did indeed, Kasami-san. Does your hand emit some sort of negative ions, perhaps? It's quite mysterious. In typical Sachi style, the girl asks this question with a perfectly straight face.
If so, I'd have to see about selling off the technology to some manufacturer of home appliances. Sounds like exactly the sort of feature the gullible housewives of the world would love to have in their toasters.
In that case, I'll be forced to purchase the manufacturer that obtains the rights.
You have that kind of scratch lying around?
No, I can't say that I do.
Not surprising. Well, anyway, I guess this should do it for my penalty?
Yes, good job, Kasami-san. Sachi offers me an enthusiastic thumbs up. And also, well, if it's alright with you, of course, if you could continue to praise me from time to time, I would be very happy.
I suppose. I wasn't really planning to cut off your compliments in the first place. If you act in a way worthy of recognition again, I guess I'll probably praise you again.
Thank you very much. I thought my response kind of brusque, if anything, but Sachi blushes the same shade of pink as before and offers me a bow of thanks.
That's it. If we happen to duel again, I fully intend to win.
In that case, I will immediately head to the mountains alone and devote myself to ascetic training regimen.
That's your prerogative, but don't forget to attend class, alright?
Wow, come to think of it, you're right. My responsibilities as a student had completely slipped my mind.
The thing about Sachi is, you know this isn't a joke. She genuinely did forget. In any case, I've learned something from the time I spent with this honest girl today. The act of praising someone, the sensation of petting their head. I've been making a habit of rustling Makina's hair around lately, but somehow this felt different. Exactly what that feeling was remains unclear to me, but whatever it was, for some reason, I enjoyed it. I guess Makina's games aren't all bad. Somehow, those have become my honest thoughts on the matter. And that's where we'll end this episode. So it got a bit long, but and it definitely got a bit on the gibberish side. But now, in the next episode, we'll truly head down Sachi's path. So, I will make up a new save right here. And until next time, take care.